Hey there, it's Shama Maher, CEO of Scaling Retail, and this week in Retailing Weekly, we're talking about Reformation again. Reformation last week was in the news as they started to expand their collection into Net-a-Porter and starting to bridge and start to look at the wholesale marketplace. And now, guys, Reformation is looking to sell the business. Now, historically, the brand has been doing quite well. They've gone through a few different rounds of series fundraising. And as they look to do an exit with the business, they are seeking the advisement and counsel of Goldman Sachs to help lead this round of the acquisition. Now, this is really interesting. Usually we see a business that has a considerable more amount of fundraising, or that's a lot more profitable and a bit bigger before they start to look for getting acquired. So there is some speculation as to why now is the right time for Reformation to be exiting and where exactly their CEO Yael is going to be heading off to after the sale of the business. So this is one of those companies where we're seeing really kind of the birth and cycle forward of where the business trajectory is going. Oftentimes we see more historical based businesses. They've been in business for 20 years, 25 years, 50 years. Then they finally look to sell off after they've had quite a bit of history. But what's really exciting about Reformation is even though they are really an amazing example of direct-to-consumer online, opening up their brick and mortar, starting to really bridge and take a stand for sustainability, more transparency in the market. What's really exciting about this is that there are a number of different choice retailers and brands out there that are looking and that need an acquisition of this type of positioning. And so as we start to speculate as to who might be poised at this point in time to do the acquisition, let's take a look at where these different businesses are heading. So certainly we have a company like Walmart that's been doing crazy amounts of acquisitions in the last 5 years. ModCloth, Jet, Bonobos, obviously, just to name a few of their recent acquisitions. And then we also take a look at historical luxury houses and companies like Kering or LVMH, where they're also making big strides in investments and acquiring more luxury brands. So Walmart on one hand, and let's lop in the other conglomerates. So let's say the JCPenney's or maybe even the Sears. They're kind of the old school big box guys. And a lot of the brands that they acquire end up doing more mass market media plays, right? They really try to exploit the brand. And then on the other hand, when you look at the more luxury houses like a Kering or an LVMH, they take brands and really elevate them and keep them niche and really start to cultivate the talent in-house. And those brands end up being known for their creative directors and their vision and their talent. So where Reformation ends up being sold is really going to tell us a lot about the future direction of the business and really what the founder thinks is important as they look to carry on the legacy under a different umbrella. Honestly, with this recent foray into wholesale and moving into the Net-a-Porter relationship, I think this could really poise the business to expand and to start to tap into more of that luxury market. And I think that could be a good play for Walmart. So I think we should really, take a step back, evaluate who the key players are, and keep our eye on the prize as we see where Reformation ends up going. Now, as far as the health of the business, about 60% of the business has production in Los Angeles, and they've been rapidly expanding and looking into international manufacturing. And to be honest, Reformation is truly a fast fashion company on par with deliveries and schedules similar to that of a Zara or an H&M, meaning constant deliveries, new product, etc. They've also been really applauded for what they've been doing with their in-store experience. So Reformation has done excellent work with how they do their fitting rooms, how they create a closet-like atmosphere, and then also how they've been really driving technology into their fitting room experience and into the store experience. They're one of the first stores that we reported on that actually had some of the in-store interactive displays where you could purchase, shop, save things to your cart, and both shop digitally as well as in store at the same time. They've also been expanding into bringing in other different categories and other brands into their stores. So really flipping it just from being mono brand and their own brand to starting to look at bridging in and bringing in other lifestyle brands. So what's interesting here is they've done a fantastic job of poising themselves to not only expand on their wholesale market, drive home the direct-to-consumer both in-store and online, and then also start to bring in other brands. Now, the best possible reason why I think that this is a good time for Reformation to be selling off is simply because the bandwidth and organizational infrastructure that they need to have put in place in order to see this next level of growth. right? Are they really equipped to have that upper level management, the skills and expertise, and really the data-driven centers that they would need to start to implement in order to really juice out and see this next level of evolution, right? We need to start to see their wholesale team expand. We're going to need to see their technology and data teams expand. So a possible acquisition, I think, could be really fantastic to really see the brand start to fructify and grow into what the future possibilities are. But stay tuned. We'll certainly report on it first here as soon as we get any wind as to what is happening behind the scenes with this Reformation acquisition. All right, guys, that's all from us. Leave your comments below. Would love to hear about your thoughts and ideas around how acquisitions should take place. And guys, I'm really hoping that whoever acquires Reformation doesn't do a total overhaul of the business, but simply respects the direction of the brand. I'm hoping AL actually stays on board for another 5 years in order to see the transition of the teams and also to be able to help oversee really where the merchandising direction is. You know, there's something really special about the product and the movement that Reformation has started that if they can get the right funding and the right organizational team behind it, can really take on and be a great example brand of our times for something that is both on brand, trendy, of the zeitgeist, really culturally relevant, and also sustainable and ethical, and having all those transparent things that we really hold so deeply and that are really important for the future of fashion and of our climate. All right, guys, that's all from us. Leave comments below. Would love to hear from you soon. Bye.